Hi, and welcome to another Scale Passion e-interview. Today we're talking to Ryan Cahill of SuccessFactors. I've got to tell you that SuccessFactors is a pretty impressive company. If I'd had them when I was a CEO, I would have definitely run my company in a lot more efficient way. The main thing that they bring to the table is an online service-oriented business that helps you capture your strategy, cascade that strategy down to all employees, and then really manage the number one asset you have, which is your people. Performance reviews, 360 tools, connecting performance back to the strategy, you name it, their tool does it. So I've been very impressed with the tool, and I wanted to bring Ryan Cahill, who's been a friend for quite some time, to you today to talk about the tool and what it might be able to do for passionate CEOs that are growing their businesses. So here's Ryan Cahill. You might be watching part 1, 2, or 3, but all 3 parts are excellent. I think you'll get a lot out of the talk today. Thank you very much. And the success that they've seen, and what are some of the successes that you're seeing with the system in particular? Sure. You know, who's applying it? What kind of CEOs are applying it? You know, give me an example of a good CEO that's applying the system.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what's working for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys want to use this? Because the radio?
That's right. Thanks.
He likes an au naturel.
Yeah, definitely. Authentic is what I call it. Go ahead.
Yes, I think to answer your question, what CEOs are doing with our tool right now is, I think in recent past, over the last 6 months, I think that the predominant category has been much more proactive, forward-looking CEOs. And what I mean by that is people that typically, over the last couple of customers, have been ones that are doing well. And our product works for both, but those seems to be the ones who are most interested because I think they're the type of CEOs that have identified this as a major opportunity for them. And so they're coming to us saying, okay, how do we take advantage of the situation? How do we go out to the market and really leverage this time? And so specifically, just recently sold a customer in Fort Lauderdale, and they are aggressively recruiting right now. And they said, you know what, we have access to people we have not had a chance at in 5 years. And we want to steal top talent from our competitors. We want to recruit people that are out of work, and we want to take advantage of the talent pool that's available. And so the reason they're using our tool is they said, okay, but we don't know how to tie them into what we're trying to do. And we don't know where in the organization we can fit good talent, even though there's good talent available. So that's one of the biggest ones. Beyond that, I think another good example is a smaller company that's growing well, doing very profitable.
What's smaller? Like how many employees?
35.
Okay, 35
So
employees.
35 employees. And so what they're using is they said, you know what, we've really identified that we don't know our people that well, even though with only 35 employees. And so they utilized our tool to do a combination of just evaluation and also just information seeking, skill seeking. And so what they identified, in a 35-person company, they speak 12 different languages, which is amazing, but in South Florida, you know, it's certainly possible. And so what they identified is 3 of those languages now they're going to go to market with. And they said, why don't we compete in this? We've got the talent. You know, we speak French. They've got people that speak German, you know, speak Spanish, obviously. And so why not go after that market and leverage that as a competitive advantage?
Right.
So I thought that
how
was
does
really
your tool
interesting.
help that?
Well, in the employee profile, there is a process where the employee updates the information. So everything on our tool comes from the employee up. So it's not manually entered by any other staff. So the employee will go in and enter this data. So as a company, you determine what data you want to know. So in standard HR process, your social, your spouse's name, just information. So what we allow is say, okay, well, let's get some information that's important. Who did you work for before you came here? In quick, easy access. What are the skills that you used to do? What are positions have you held in the past? And not only does it identify some of the skills that you may have that you're not utilizing in your current role, but it identifies opportunity for business development. Another customer of ours, including that one, is using it to identify where you worked previously, to identify business opportunities, say, hey, who do you know at that company? Let's call into them, use your warm lead, and get an opportunity.
That's a great idea.
So So the biggest challenge, I think, in businesses that we help is that there's so much information at your fingertips through your people, but if you don't have an effective way to get that information, you're not going to talk to every person and put it in a Word document and spread it. It just doesn't work. So our tool allows you to put it in a database format and search by it. So we want to know what people in our company have been here for 3 years and speak 2 languages and are willing to move, for example. Our tool allows you to do that. Otherwise, you don't have those answers.
Okay.
So that was really interesting. And then beyond that, I think one of the big ones is, again, growing companies are saying, we want to expand. We don't know who's capable of leaving to go handle a new location. And so they're utilizing not only the performance review in an effective fashion, but also a 360 tool to identify, you know what, who do peers respect, who's our top talent here, and who do we think has the capabilities under a real quick ramp period that they could go and take over a new location. Mm-hmm. And I know specifically one customer in Tampa is growing really rapidly. They want to open a new location, and they've got plans to do that, but they don't have the staff ready. So they wanted to quickly identify, do we have people here that are capable of quickly, training that those quick gaps that they might have to move to that position, and or do we need to recruit from without, and then who are those people in those roles, and do that in a quick fashion. So
it's really a tool that allows you to manage the people asset.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, and move them around and learn about them and tap into the collective knowledge,
yeah,
et cetera.